What's going on, everyone? This is Talks with Kenny. Here today, we'll be we'll be reviewing with me UncleTom 2020. But let's get into it.
I care deeply about black people and the issues of black people. But I care deeply about the issues of all people. I want to look at things objectively. When I look at what policies I believe will help not only black people, but what would help all people, I voice that. And because I stand in opposition, that makes me an Uncle Tom. I used to get very offended and upset whenever people would call me an Uncle Tom. I think I'm in a place now when someone calls me that, like, I kind of pity them because of their ignorance. It just shows that they haven't actually read the book. Whenever someone calls you an Uncle Tom, what they're trying to communicate is that either you just do not like black people and you see all black people as trash, or they're trying to communicate that, oh, you're just trying to fit in with white people. You're trying to be accepted among whites.
I'm going to give my commentary on this. So this is, I guess, the perception that's been placed on, like, black conservatives as a whole, that we are elitist, that we're just trying to be like the white folk. I don't know how I can be white. I can never be white. I'm black. Just because I have a different perspective of how the black community should be doesn't mean I hate the community. Now, people believe whatever they want to believe, but that, I believe, is that black people are just as capable as any other race of people to do anything they put their minds to, right? What I'm against is this coddling of black America, right? That we need affirmative action. You don't see how condescending that is, black America? That the white liberal think that you're so incompetent on your own that they need to artificially help you get opportunities in education, in jobs. They have to put quotas for us, right? And one of the things I always told, like, my coworkers, and in a joking manner, I always say, if I ever found out that I was a diversity and inclusion hire, I'll quit on the spot. Because I believe I am created equal. And just because I don't see my skin color as a handicap, people will label me Uncle Tom, or they'll say, you're ignorant, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're voting against your own best interests, as if people know me more than I know myself. And that's the condescending attitude that I wholeheartedly reject. And that mostly comes from liberals, black or white. But let's continue.
And so I'm going to call you this derogatory word to put you in your place and to remind you, you will never be accepted by whites. You'll always be just a black nigger.
There's people who find my Instagram and comment on it just to call me Uncle Tom, House Negro. I never thought that I would be called, such racist and derogatory terms.
Uncle Tom, Coon, Bedwench,
Bootlicker, Chucking and Jiving,
House Negro, Coon,
Uncle Tom and Coon. Matter of fact, I have a Coon Award over there. Coon of the Year Award.
They call us the Coons. Coon.
For Indians like me, you're an Uncle Patel.
Uncle Ruckus.
But praise be the white God and his son, White J.
The guy from Get Out, they put his face on my post.
I find that the African-American experience for me has been, for the most part, very good.
I think the funniest thing I've ever been called, the most absurd thing, is a black white supremacist. It's like the old Chappelle skit, Clayton Bigsby. And they go,
White power!
It must be real.
People say crazy things. Leftists say the crazy.
Oh, the only thing I will say to that is, it's always funny how you know who's really pro-black versus who's just pro-Democrat, right? So these same people who were saying, oh, I'm pro-black, whatever, in my perspective, you should honor that. Okay, my fellow brother has a different perspective of how the community should go. Just like how Malcolm X had a perspective and Martin Luther King had a perspective of how the black community should go. Martin Luther King was for integration. Malcolm X was for segregation. Like, we should separate from these people so they don't have the opportunity to discriminate against us. While Martin Luther King was like, hey, we all can come as one and stand under the same nation and be known as one people, right? But instead of taking black conservatives like that, the typical pro blacks will say, they'll call you names. You're a coon. You're this. You're Uncle Tom. You're trying to be white. I talk proper English. I'm trying to be white. Not that I'm learning English. I know English. But no, I'm talking white. Right? To me, this always what frustrates me is that I am not my skin color, right? What you think black people should be, because it's arbitrary. I think black people should be a certain way, but I don't come here and saying like being black is not an action. It's who I am. And you cannot take that away from me. No matter how hard you try, no matter how many names you call me in my life, I am who I am. What I find it funny is that these pro-blacks, when white liberals are calling you this stuff, they don't come in your defense, right? That's a great opportunity to showcase how racism still exists in America. But instead, the pro-blacks, they're quiet. Because to me, they're not really pro-blacks. They're just pro-Democrat. They're pro-state. They pro-welfare. That's what they are. They're not and they use the disguise of being pro-black to push whatever agenda that they want. That's how I take it. Let's get into it.
Don't try to twist what I say.
But that's what you're saying.
Your narrative. That is not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying.
You can't tell me what I'm saying.
I know you, Lenore. That's what you're saying.
You don't know me.
You sound like all of them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and guess what? You sound like all them Uncle Toms. Now,
See there?
How about that?
I knew it. Lenore,
now,
it's good to hear from you. It's good to hear from you.
Go drop dead.
All right. Thank you, Lenore. What a sweet lady.
And Uncle Tom is somebody who has sold out by embracing the white man, by becoming a Republican, by rejecting the idea that you're a victim, by supporting things like hard work, accountability, and low taxes, by refusing to think of yourself as a black person first as opposed to as an American who is black.
Your skin color.
I agree with everything that I just said. I see myself as a man that happens to be black. That's it. Maybe you can blame my Christian upbringing, but in the Bible, all men are created equal. So I believe that. And if I believe that, there's no way you can justify, oh, racism affects you here. Okay, how it affects me. The only way racism can affect me if a racist is involved. Okay, where's the racist? You can't find them. Do they have institutional power? No. Okay, why would I worry about them? Why do you want me to have sleepless nights over people that don't like me just because of the color of my skin? Why would I waste my energy thinking about them? I won't, unless they become an obstacle in my way. Then I'll handle them with the blinky, But let's get back into it.
Should dictate how you think and what you say.
The only way I can operate as a human being is via my skin color. I can't operate via my intelligence or the things I have accomplished.
That's that CRT.
My resume should be I'm black.
And Uncle Tom has traditionally been a black person that tried to serve and scurry favor with white people.
So they believe that I want to be accepted in the white community. Kind of like the house Negro back in slavery. That I'm in the house. Master, what can I do for you? And I'm going to suck up to them and leave my people behind.
Most black people don't believe that other blacks can be independent, free thinkers, or
you
stand
definitely
up,
don't.
or stand up for what is right. They believe that if a black person stand up for what is right, they'll sell out. They're Uncle Tom. The white people have to be brainwashed.
As my late grandfathers used to say, who lived to be 94, I does not care. Because he didn't have a lot of education. He said, I does not care. So I don't care if they call me names. Just meet me at the bank.
It's the same thing with the racist. I don't care if they call me names. Can you stop me? No, you can't. Okay, and what I care. To me. That's how. That's why I say racism is a minor inconvenience in my life, because that's the most a racist can do. They can only control something at a personal level. They don't have institutional power. Why the hell would I worry about them? That's why, to me, in my list of priorities, race is at the bottom of it. Economics is first, as usual. It affects everybody. It affects me too, right? And at the bottom, racism. That's it. Most people, most people in the black community, and is their right, they believe race is at the top. To me, I feel like we're wasting energy on like low priority problems. But hey, the Democrats, they bought into the messaging. Hey, race is the number one issue in your community, to keep them being one issue voters. My main joke I like to say is, bring all your white friends and try to make them exercise their white privilege. You're gonna find out most cases I have more privilege than them. But that's just my thoughts.
And we'll compare bank accounts.
I am very optimistic about the future. Frankly, I have seen certain changes in the United States over the last 2 years that surprised me. I've seen levels of compliance with the Civil Rights Bill and changes that have been most surprising. So on the basis of this, I think we may be able to get a Negro president in less than 40 years.
Oh, wow, he was right. I don't know when he made that speech. Yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section.
In churches, in bars, on the streets, Americans have been celebrating this great landmark in the long struggle for civil rights. In Chicago, the veteran black leader Jesse Jackson broke down in tears. In Atlanta, from the pulpit of Martin Luther King's old church, its pastor declared, "Tonight, we have seized the promise of America."
Not to sound crazy, but, white people always had Jesus. So they always had that mentality, I could be anything, even God. For me, the image of him is like, who's the most powerful person in the world? Who's considered like a god, basically? Is the president of the United States. Obama became that image for us, like that Jesus. We never looked at ourselves as being politicians. We looked at ourselves as rappers or football, basketball players, drug dealers. That's why I think Obama was important in becoming president, because it gave us that optic. Like, we could be whatever we want to be.
And just leave it off of this. This is part one. You guys can see part two. But my final thoughts for part one. Yeah, I believe race relations was at its best during 2009 when Obama got elected. My dad was a Republican and he voted for Obama. Because my dad's like, it's important we have the first black president. You can be anything you want in this country, son. Right? So from that idea, we went from that in 2009 to where we are now, where people are still grievancing over things that happened 50, 40 years ago. Complaining about stuff that happened 40 years ago. Trying to hitch their wagon on some trauma that they never personally experienced. But because they happen to share the same skin color as people, they want to piggyback off of that. I don't know. I feel like America was at its best around that time. After that, I don't know what the hell happened. But let me guys know what you think in the comment section below. Part two will be coming soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.